Hey there, coin lovers. Have you ever dug through your pocket change and thought, could this penny be worth a fortune? Well, grab a seat, because today we're diving into one of those sneaky little pennies that could be worth more than just 1 cent. I'm talking about the 1960 Lincoln penny. But first, let me hit you with a quick question. How many of you have tossed pennies without a second thought? Yeah, I've been guilty of that too. But you might want to take another look at those coins, especially if you have a 1960 sitting around. You might think, just a cent, right? But let me tell you, sometimes pennies can be more like a hidden treasure chest in disguise. So, in this video, we'll talk about the value of the 1960 Lincoln penny, how it ended up being special, and why it might just be the most unexpected hero of your coin collection. Spoiler alert, it's not just worth 1 cent. Stick around, this is going to be fun. Alright, let's set the stage a little bit. Picture it, the year is 1960. Elvis is shaking his hips, and the world is on the brink of the space age. But here's something even more important happening, a change to the U.S. Mint's production process. In 1960, the U.S. Mint decided to switch up the design of the Lincoln penny, and some of the coins produced that year came with a unique twist. The 1960 penny comes in two varieties, the small date and the large date. You see, it all came down to how the numbers were printed on the die, and as a result, there's this super rare small date variety that's worth way more than its counterpart, the large date. So now you're probably wondering, how do I tell the difference between these two? Great question. The small date will have a much more compact, almost squeezed-in look to the 9 and 0 in 1960. Whereas, the large date has a wider, more spaced-out design. Now, let's get into why you should care about this. Now, we're focusing on the 1960 D, the one with a D mint mark, indicating it was produced in Denver. And that mint mark is where the treasure hunt begins. While the 1960 D penny isn't extremely rare, it can still pack some value, especially if you have one in mint condition or if it's the small date variety. Here's the kicker. If you've got a 1960 small date penny in pristine shape, it could fetch anywhere between $50 to $100 in today's market. So, no more just tossing pennies in the jar. We're talking about a bit of pocket change with some real potential, and here's the part that'll either excite you or make you wish you had a time machine. A poorly circulated or worn out 1960 penny is worth about $1.50. Not bad for a single penny, right? What's the big deal? Well, if you're someone who loves to hunt for rare coins, you'll understand this, that $1.50 is still way more than you'd get if you tried to cash it in at the bank. And it's a lot better than the flat-out zero you'd get from tossing a penny into a fountain wishing for more change. Let's talk about what makes these pennies valuable. Coin condition matters a lot here. The value can go up depending on how well the coin is preserved. If your 1960 D looks like it's been dragged through the dirt or chewed on by the family dog, we've all been there, you're looking at a pretty modest value. But if it's in that beautiful, shiny mint condition, you could be looking at a surprising payday. And let's not forget about market trends. Coin collecting isn't always predictable. Sometimes, demand for a specific coin will spike, and the value will go up, even if it wasn't that special before. So, if you're holding on to a 1960 D penny, who knows? In a few years, it could be worth more than a fancy cup of coffee. Okay, quick little personal story time. A couple of years ago, I was going through a box of old change I had sitting in my drawer, you know, the one that's filled with random coins that you forget about until you desperately need a quarter for the laundry machine. Anyway, I was about to toss a bunch of pennies into my spare change jar when I noticed something shiny and kind of old looking. I pulled out a 1960 D penny that looked a lot better than the others. I did a quick Google search and boom. I realized it was a 1960 D small date. It wasn't in mint condition, but I still couldn't believe I had something with a little extra value in my collection. I didn't get rich overnight, but that little penny went from just another coin to a small reminder that treasure is often hiding in the most unexpected places. So, what did we learn today? The 1960 D Lincoln penny is more than just a penny, it's a piece of history that can actually be worth more than its face value, especially if you've got one in good shape or the elusive small date variety. Who knew pennies could hold so much potential, right? But hey, don't just take my word for it. Go ahead, start checking your change jars, your piggy banks, and any loose pennies you have lying around. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting, and you want more tips on finding hidden gems in your change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on future videos with coin strategies, market trends, and more cool finds. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy hunting for those rare pennies. Don't forget to hit like if you found this interesting. Who knew a little copper coin could be so exciting, right? Alright, coin collectors and casual treasure hunters, stop scrolling, because I've got a penny that could be worth more than your morning coffee, and I'm not talking about one of those overpriced lattes either. I'm talking about a coin that has a mystery, yes, a genuine mystery, that could just put a little extra cash in your pocket. You see, not every penny is created equal, and today, we're diving into the world of the 1972 Lincoln penny with NO mint mark. A penny that might just be hiding its true worth. And if you're thinking, a penny's a penny, right? Well, buckle up, because you might want to take a closer look at that loose change you've got lying around. Let's jump into it. Cut to a close-up of the penny, with zoom-ins on different features of the coin. Here's the deal, if you have a 1972 Abraham Lincoln penny with NO mint mark, you might be looking at a little piece of history that could be worth around $1.60 today. That's right, you heard me, $1.60. Now, I know what you're thinking, wait, that's not exactly a gold mine. But hang on, this isn't your typical penny. Let me tell you why. Host holds up a regular 1972 penny for comparison. Here's a regular 1972 penny, and look at that, nothing special, right? But now, let's say you find one of these with no mint mark. Where's the mint mark, you ask? Well, the mint mark would usually be right here, on the front of the coin, under the year. If you see a D there, that means it was minted in Denver. And S means San Francisco. But, if you see nothing, that's a mystery coin. It should have had a mint mark, but it didn't. And that makes it a bit rarer. Before we get too excited, I'm not saying you're about to retire early with a bunch of these pennies. But that little lack of a mint mark can add some value, especially to collectors who are on the lookout for coins that don't quite fit the norm. Plus, if the condition of your 1972 penny is good, maybe it's in mint state, or even better, uncirculated, well, now we're talking a higher price, like $1.60 or even a bit more. Cuts to a graphic showing a price chart of the 1972 penny's value based on condition. Check this out, in average circulated condition, a 1972 no mint mark penny can fetch you around $1.60. But if it's in uncirculated or excellent condition, you might be looking at a penny that could be worth a little more. And this is where things get fun, because that $1.60 could be the tip of the iceberg if you've got one of these bad boys in pristine shape. Host looks thoughtful and nostalgic, holding a penny in their hand. Let me tell you, I know how easy it is to miss the value in something small. I remember a couple of years ago, I found this old coin in my grandma's couch cushions. I was looking for spare change to buy a snack, and boom, I pull out this coin. I thought, it's just another penny, and threw it into my coin jar. But one day, I was at a coin show, and I showed it to this dealer. He takes one look at it and says, "Do you know what you've got here?" I was like, a penny. Turns out, it was a 1943 steel penny, totally rare, and worth hundreds of dollars. Imagine my shock when I found out my couch coin was actually worth a small fortune. Moral of the story: never underestimate the value of a penny, because you never know when you'll strike gold, or, in this case, $1.60. And by the way, I totally didn't sell it. Still got that penny somewhere in my collection, starts pacing back and forth while holding up a magnifying glass and examining coins, let's talk about the market value for a sec. If you're into coin collecting or flipping, you're probably aware that some of these smaller, rarer coins can see their value increase over time. The 1972 penny with no mint mark isn't likely to make you a millionaire overnight, but for collectors, it's a bit of a fun treasure hunt. Coins like these are usually sold through dealers, auction sites, or specialized coin shops, and prices can fluctuate based on demand, the condition of the coin, and sometimes just sheer luck. Remember, if you ever decide to sell, make sure you're getting a fair deal. Don't walk into your local pawn shop and let them talk you out of a gem like this. Take a moment, do some research, heck, get yourself a coin guidebook. It's like dating, don't settle for the first offer. T sits down with a pile of coins and leans in, speaking directly to the camera. So, to wrap this up, that 1972 Lincoln penny without a mint mark might seem like just another old coin, but it's actually a small treasure waiting to be discovered. And who knows, maybe you've got one in your jar, and it's just waiting for its moment to shine. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even just curious about what you might find hidden in your spare change, stick around because we've got more tips coming your way. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more coin tips, tricks, and stories about hidden treasures. And hey, if you've got a 1972 penny with no mint mark, or any other cool coin stories, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you found. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Upbeat music plays as the end screen pops up with links to more videos about coins worth money. Subscribe for more coin tips. Hey, fellow coin lovers. Wait, before you scroll away to watch another cat video or a prank, listen up. Do you have a 1974 Lincoln penny? No mint mark on it? I know, you're thinking, ugh, another penny. Who cares? Well, hold your horses, because you might be holding on to a hidden treasure worth more than a fancy cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's right, my friend. This little copper coin might be worth $1.70, or more, if you've got one of the rare ones. So, stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot that elusive 1974 penny and exactly how much it could be worth today. And no, I'm not kidding. So let's dive in. Cue fun intro animation with music and flashy graphics showcasing the title, 1974 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny Value. Alright, let's set the stage for a little history lesson. In 1974, the US Mint produced billions of pennies, but here's the kicker, some of them were made without a mint mark. Most pennies you find today have a mint mark, whether it's a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or none at all. But in 1974, there was something a little weird going on, and some of those pennies ended up in circulation with no mint mark. Now, before you grab that jar of pennies you've got sitting around in your drawer or under your bed, don't lie, we all have one. Hold up. It's important to note, there's a big difference between regular 1974 pennies and those rare 1974 pennies with no mint mark. Shows a close-up of a normal 1974 penny and a rare 1974 penny with no mint mark. So, what makes these no mint mark pennies special? Well, the US Mint typically puts mint marks on most of their coins. But, in 1974, there was a bit of a snafu. You see, there were some pennies made in Philadelphia, and guess what? They didn't add that little P mint mark on some of them. We're talking about pennies that were basically forgotten, the forgotten children of the coin world. And now, these missing mint marks have become highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk value. So, what's the deal with this 1974 no mint mark penny? Is it a gold mine or just a nice memory from your pocket change days? Well, the current value of a 1974 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is roughly $1.70. Yes, you heard me right. A penny that's worth over $1. That's not a typo, folks. Imagine, just for a second, if you had a pocket full of these babies. Forget about retirement plans, just start stacking those 1974 no-mint mark pennies. But maybe don't go that far. But it's not always that easy, right? This isn't just about finding any old 1974 penny. The condition of the coin matters too. Like a fine wine, these coins can age beautifully, or they can be worn down and beat up from years of handling and harsh circulation. Collectors love those coins in mint condition, so if you find a 1974 penny that looks like it's been through a battle with a washing machine, you might not be getting the top dollar. Shows a well-worn coin and then a shiny one for comparison. Let me tell you a funny story. So, a few months ago, I was sorting through a jar of pennies I've been collecting for years, mostly just for fun. And there I was, thinking, these are just pennies. Who needs them? I had no idea that I was about to find not one, but two 1974 no-mint mark pennies in perfect condition. It was like a light bulb moment. I swear, I heard the angels singing, Hallelujah. Okay, maybe not angels singing, but you get the point. I was stoked. I did some research, and I found out that these babies were worth a pretty penny. And let me tell you, if I had held onto them for a couple more years, I could probably sell them for more than what they're worth today. They really do go up in value over time. Alright, so now you know the scoop. The 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, while not going to make you a millionaire, could be worth a nice little chunk of change if you've got the right one in your collection. And hey, you might have a few sitting in that jar under your bed right now, just waiting to make you some extra cash. So, here's my challenge to you, go check your pocket change. Who knows? You could find a hidden gem. And if you do, send me a pic or comment below. I love hearing about these cool finds. Before you go running off to dig through your drawers, though, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of other tips and tricks to share with you about coins worth money, strategies to get the best deals, and all kinds of fun coin stories. You don't want to miss out. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Thanks for hanging out today, and good luck on your coin hunts. Catch you in the next video, where we'll dig deeper into other rare finds. Peace out. Alright, folks, let's play a game. What if I told you that this little copper coin in my hand, yep, this tiny, everyday penny, could be worth more than, well, a penny? Pauses for dramatic effect. Would you believe me? Or would you think I'm just another guy on the internet hyping up spare change? Today, we're diving into the world of the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Is it rare? Is it valuable? Can you quit your job if you find one? Spoiler, no, but hey, every penny counts, right? Stick around, because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this coin, its history, its value, and a super relatable story about how I learned the hard way that not every old penny is worth a fortune. Oh, and if you love finding hidden treasure in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss the money-making secrets I've got in store. Now, let's talk pennies. So first, what's the deal with the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? You might be wondering, wait, no mint mark. Is this an error coin? A rare one-of-a-kind misprint? Should I start planning my luxury vacation to the Bahamas? Hold on there, treasure hunter. Let's break it down. In 1976, pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Denver had a little D on them, and the ones from San Francisco had an S, but the Philadelphia ones? Nothing. Zilch. No mint mark. And guess what? That's normal for pennies from Philly. So if you found one with no mint mark, congrats. You have a totally common penny. Yeah, I know, total buzzkill. But wait. There's still value to talk about. Because even though most 1976 pennies aren't worth more than face value, if you have one in super crisp, mint condition, what collectors call MS or mint state, you could be looking at a little extra change in your pocket. A circulated 1976 no-mint mark penny. Worth 1 cent. An uncirculated, super shiny, almost flawless version graded MS-65 or higher. Those can sell for around $1.10. Now, I know what you're thinking, wow, a whole $1.10. I can finally buy a half cup of gas. Okay, maybe not life-changing, but hey, it's still more than 1 cent. And if you have a really pristine one graded MS-67 or higher, you might score $20 or more. But before you start scrubbing your pennies with your mom's silver polish, don't. Cleaning coins ruins their value. Collectors want that natural, aged look. So if you find one that looks fresh out of a time machine, send it to a professional grading service instead. Okay, so let me tell you how I learned all this the hard way. A few years ago, I found a 1976 no-mint mark penny in my old piggy bank. I got so excited, I thought I was about to retire early. I mean, I really thought I was holding on to a jackpot. I rushed to the nearest coin shop, basically ready to cash out. The guy takes one look at it, chuckles, and says, "Yeah, that's worth a cent." I walked out of there with my dreams and my penny still intact. But hey, I learned an important lesson: just because it's old doesn't mean it's gold. So, lesson for you. Do your research before you start making retirement plans. So, is the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth money? In everyday condition, nope. But if you've got a high-grade, near-perfect one, you might just make a buck or two. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button. And if you want more tips on spotting rare coins, finding hidden treasure in your pocket change, or just learning weird and fun money facts, subscribe to the channel. Who knows, the next coin I talk about might just be hiding in your couch cushions. Alright, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever picked up a penny and thought, hey, maybe this is worth a fortune. This video is for you. Today, we're diving deep into the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Could it be your ticket to early retirement, or is it just another sad, lonely cent at the bottom of your couch cushions? Let's find out. Spoiler alert, this little guy right here. It's not going to buy you a mansion. But, it does have a story, and if you're collecting, investing, or just curious, stick around, because I've got some juicy details you don't want to miss. So first things first, why doesn't this penny have a mint mark? Great question, my fellow numismatic nerds. The truth is, back in 1978, the U.S. Mint produced coins at 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But Philly? They like to keep things mysterious, no mint marks on their pennies. It's like they wanted us to guess where they came from. Classic Philadelphia, am I right? Now, if you were hoping this penny would be a once-in-a-lifetime find worth thousands. I hate to break it to you, but the standard 1978 no-mint mark penny is worth about 1.2 cents. Yep. A whole 1.2 cents, that's 20% more than face value. Not exactly an early retirement plan, but hey, money's money. But before you go tossing your pennies in frustration, there's a little more to the story. Condition is everything. If you find a 1978 penny in mint condition, I'm talking no scratches, no discoloration, no gum stuck to the back, you could be looking at a value of up to $100 or more in an auction. Mint condition, no scratches, dings, or pocket lint errors, printing mistakes, double strikes, or missing features, full, crisp details. Abe Lincoln's beard should be as glorious as ever. Red toning, a bright, shiny red penny is worth more than a dull brown one. Collector demand, if collectors want it, the price goes up. That's right, condition, errors, and demand can turn your everyday penny into a coin worth real money. So next time you find an old penny, don't just toss it, give it a closer look. You know, I used to think pennies were useless. I'd see them on the ground and just walk right by, thinking, not worth my time. But then, one fateful day, my grandpa, who was a huge coin nerd, handed me a dusty old penny and said, "This little guy could be special." I looked at it, rolled my eyes, and stuffed it in my pocket. Years later, I finally checked, and turns out it was a 1943 steel penny worth $50. Not life-changing, but way better than just leaving it on the sidewalk. Moral of the story: never ignore a penny, my friends. They might just surprise you. So, to recap, the 1978 no-mint mark penny isn't exactly a goldmine, but it's a great piece for collectors, and in the right condition, it could be worth more than you think. Plus, who doesn't love a little treasure hunt? Before you go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Do you collect Lincoln pennies? Drop a comment below, I read them all. And hey, if you love finding hidden value in everyday things, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and stories. Who knows? Your next penny could be a jackpot. Alright, quick question: have you ever just picked up a random penny off the ground and thought, could this be worth something? Yeah, me neither. Until one day, I found myself staring at a 1987 Lincoln penny, and I thought, I wonder if this tiny coin could make me a millionaire. Spoiler alert, it didn't. But I did discover something that might surprise you, and it might just change how you look at your change jar. But hey, don't hit that skip button just yet. If you've got a 1987 Lincoln penny hanging around, it might be worth more than just a single cent. And no, I'm not talking about the type of worth you feel when you find loose change under your couch cushions. I'm talking real coin value, like $1.30 and beyond. Stick with me, and I'll tell you why this little penny could be your ticket to a few extra bucks. Alright, let's break this down. Most of the pennies you find floating around, especially those from the 1980s, are worth, well, a penny. Maybe even less, depending on how much lint they've collected over the years. But there's one that's a bit of an exception. Drum roll please. The 1987 Lincoln penny. It's got a little something extra going for it, and it's not just because of the whole Abraham Lincoln vibe, though, let's face it, Lincoln was one cool guy with that top hat. Seriously though, this penny's got a few secrets up its sleeve. So, here's the deal. The D in 1987 D stands for the Denver Mint, which means this penny was made in Denver. But here's where things get interesting. The 1987 D penny, while it might look like any other penny you've seen a million times, actually has some slightly rarer versions floating around, some with errors. These errors can include things like double strikes, die cracks, and even off-center impressions. And that's where the magic happens. Those errors can push its value from 1 cent to $1.30, or even higher if you're lucky. Why am I not quitting my day job to become a full-time coin collector? And you're right. It's not a huge jackpot, but hey, it's a nice little surprise. Plus, this isn't the only scenario where your coin could be worth more. Some of these bad boys have been auctioned off for a pretty penny, pun intended. And we're talking about coins that were only slightly different, but those small errors can seriously change things. Now, I'll be honest. I didn't find my 1987 D penny in a massive treasure chest or anything. No, it was lying right on the sidewalk. I was walking, minding my business, when I spotted it. I picked it up, and at first, I was like, just another penny. But then, I had a flash of genius. Okay, maybe it wasn't that genius, but it sounded smart at the time. I thought, wait a minute, this could be my golden ticket, or, my $1.30 ticket. So I googled around and found out that some 1987 D pennies are listed for higher prices because of those cool errors. And here's the kicker, while $1.30 isn't life-changing money, it's still more than what you'd get from your regular old penny jar. And let's be real, finding an error on a penny is kind of like finding a unicorn that's also wearing a cool pair of sunglasses. It's rare, but it happens. Here's the fun part, it's easy to check if your 1987 D Lincoln penny could be worth more. What you need to look for is any type of misprinting, like a double strike, where the design gets stamped more than once. Look for anything that seems a little off. An off-center strike can make the penny's value jump because the minting process is so precise that even small mistakes are noticed by collectors. And just to be clear, I'm not saying every 1987 D penny will be worth a fortune. Most of them will just hang around in your pocket change, doing their thing. But hey, if you do find one that's slightly off, you might just have yourself a little treasure. So, to wrap it up, what's the takeaway here? A 1987 D Lincoln penny might just be worth more than you think. It's a small coin, but if it's got an error or some oddity, it could bring in more than just your usual penny finding luck. And honestly, with the way things are going, finding a penny worth $1.30 feels like hitting the jackpot, right? But let me tell you, this is just one example. There's a whole world of coins out there that could be worth a lot more than face value. And if you want more tips, tricks, and coin collecting strategies, hit that subscribe button below. I've got tons of info to share, and hey, who doesn't love a little extra pocket change? Alright, coin hunters, stay curious, check your change, and who knows, maybe you'll find a hidden gem just like I did. Catch you in the next one, and remember, keep your eyes open for pennies, because you never know when one might be a little richer than you thought. Hey, what's up, fellow coin lovers? So, you've got a bunch of pennies lying around, right? Maybe you've even tossed some in a jar somewhere, thinking, they're just pennies. They're worth, well, a penny. But, before you drop them back in the math pile, pause, stop right there. If you've got a 1994 penny with a mint mark, you could be holding on to some serious value. Seriously, like enough to make you say, wait, what? So, buckle up, because we're diving into the world of the 1994 Lincoln penny, and trust me, you'll want to know this. Some of you may be thinking, it's just a penny. How much could it be worth? Oh, my friend, you're in for a surprise. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your pennies like a treasure hunter looking at gold. Okay, let's start with the basics. First off, the 1994 Abraham Lincoln penny. It's been around since, well, 1994. I know, not exactly the ancient relic of coins, but still, it's a little piece of history. But wait, there's more. We're talking about a mint mark here. And that little mark, oh, it's a game changer. This little guy, the mint mark on your penny, is what makes all the difference in determining its value. So, you might have one of these with a mint mark from Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or the ever so rare S for San Francisco. But here's the kicker. While the 1994 penny isn't usually rare, depending on the mint mark, it could have a market value way higher than you'd expect. Let's break it down. A regular 1994 penny in decent condition, whether it has a P, D, or S mint mark, is worth about, well, 1 penny. Yeah, I know. Shocking, right? But there's a twist. Keep an eye out for pennies that are in mint condition. You know, those pennies that look like they've been pulled out of a time machine, shiny and practically untouched. If your 1994 penny is looking, well, like this, it's not going to bring in the big bucks. But if it looks like it just came off the assembly line, now we're talking. Especially if it's the S mint mark. That little guy has a higher probability of being worth more, sometimes upwards of $1.40 or more, depending on its condition and market demand. You might be wondering, how do I even know if my penny is in good enough condition to be worth anything? Should I be inspecting them under a microscope or hiring a professional? No, no, no. You don't need to break out the magnifying glass just yet, just a little patience and some careful observation will do. Okay, so maybe a magnifying glass wouldn't hurt, but let's be real here. If your penny has no visible damage, good color, and a sharp design, chances are it's worth a little extra cash. Host, but let me tell you, I know exactly what it feels like to find a penny that could be worth something. I'll tell you a quick story. So, I was digging through a box of coins I had inherited from my grandpa. There were a bunch of dusty pennies, and honestly, I didn't even think twice about them. But then, ding ding ding, I found this shiny, perfect 1994 penny. I looked at it, and I was like, could this be it? I ran to my phone, Googled 1994 Lincoln penny value, and it was like hitting the jackpot. The thing was worth around $1.40, and I was freaking out like I had found buried treasure. Not bad for a penny, right? Honestly, I had no idea the value of a penny could go that high, but hey, that's what I love about this hobby, it's full of surprises. You never know what you might find hidden in your change, or in your old coin jars. So, if you're still sitting there thinking, it's just a penny, what's the big deal? I get it. But that's the whole point. You're not just looking at old coins, you're looking at potential hidden gems, just waiting to be discovered. And hey, every penny counts. Now, if you've got a 1994 penny in your collection, take a second to inspect it. Look for that mint mark, and if it's in good shape, you might just have a tiny treasure on your hands. So, what's the takeaway here? Inspect your pennies. Don't let them just sit there in a dusty jar, because some of them could actually be worth more than $1. Or who knows? Maybe you'll even find a coin worth way more than you ever imagined. And if you want to know more about coins, how to spot those hidden gems, and strategies for collecting valuable coins, you know what to do, right? Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on those notifications, because trust me, you won't want to miss out on all the cool tips I've got lined up. You never know when your next coin could be worth a lot more than a penny. Catch you in the next video, and keep hunting those treasures. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the most exciting, the most underrated, the most scandalous piece of copper you've probably got lying around in your couch cushions right now. The 2009 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. But what if I told you this little bad boy is actually worth more than just 1 cent? That's right. You could be holding onto a coin that's selling for, drumroll, please, a whopping $1.70. Okay, I know what you're thinking. $1.70. That's not exactly Lamborghini money. But hey, it's better than 1 cent. And if you've got a whole roll of these lying around, you just might be sitting on a tiny copper fortune. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into what makes this penny special, why collectors love it, and how you can cash in. Alright, history buffs, here's the deal. In 2009, to celebrate the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the U.S. Mint released a series of pennies featuring different stages of Lincoln's life. We got 4 designs: his humble log cabin beginnings, his hardworking teenage years, his career as a young lawyer, and finally, his presidency. But today, we're focusing on the no mint mark version, which was minted in Philadelphia. Now, why is this little copper dude worth more than face value? Well, for one, these pennies were made in limited quantities compared to regular pennies, and collectors absolutely love anything that screams limited edition. It's like getting a rare Pokemon card, but instead of Pikachu, you get a bearded guy who freed the slaves. Now, here's where things get spicy. Not all 2009 Lincoln pennies are created equal. Some of these coins, especially if they're in top condition, meaning no scratches, dents, or mysterious sticky substances from being in a kid's piggy bank, can sell for much more than $1.70. I'm talking upwards of $50 to even $100 for pristine, high-graded versions. How do you know if you've got a valuable one? Check for these things: no mint mark. If your penny has no letter under the date, congrats. You've got the Philly-made version, high grade, the shinier and less damaged, the better. Collectors love mint state coins, meaning they look brand new. Errors: if your penny has a double design, extra markings, or looks like it was stamped by a sleepy mint worker, it could be worth a lot more. Quick tip: if you're not sure what condition your coin is in, try looking at it under good lighting. If it shines brighter than your future, you're on the right track. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was going through my old coin jar, you know, the one you just throw change into and forget about for 5 years. Yeah, that one. I was this close to cashing it in at the grocery store when I noticed something weird about one of my pennies. It was a 2009 Lincoln penny, and it looked fancy. I did a quick Google search and boom, I realized I was holding a penny worth almost $10. That's like 10 whole dollars I almost gave to the Coinstar machine for free. Moral of the story? Always check your change, because you never know when you're about to find a tiny treasure. Okay, so let's say you found a good one. What do you do next? You've got options: eBay and online marketplaces. List your coin and let collectors bid for it. Just make sure you take clear photos. Nobody wants to buy a blurry, suspicious-looking penny. Local coin shops. If you want a quick sale, head to a coin shop. But be ready to negotiate. These guys know their stuff. Coin shows and collector groups, a great place to meet enthusiasts who might pay top dollar for your special penny. And hey, if you don't feel like selling, you can always hold on to it. Who knows? In a few decades, this penny might be worth way more. Imagine your grandkids finding it and realizing it's their college tuition money. Now that's a legacy. First, never underestimate a penny, it might just be worth more than you think. Second, always check your change, because there could be treasure hiding in plain sight. And third, if you've got a 2009 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, congratulations. You're officially a coin collector, even if you didn't plan on it. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even just slightly entertaining, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video about coins worth money. We've got plenty more tips, tricks, and treasure hunts coming your way. Now, go check your pockets, your couch cushions, and that weird junk drawer in your kitchen. You just might find a hidden fortune. Thanks for watching.